Hi there, it's David John, the Resourceful Coach, and we're going to talk a little bit about today's swing technique, and we're going to look at something for me which sort of over time has sort of surprised me that this one particular fault, 90% of golfers are doing it. And when you start to look at golf swings, you start to realize, okay, this must be happening because of the type of results that I'm seeing. So what am I seeing with people's shots? I mean, when people mishit a ball, they tend to find maybe there's an area where they may top the ball, they may hit the ground before it, they may shank it. It may be a situation they're not getting enough power into the shot, and it all comes down amazingly to this one thing, and it's an expression we use in golf called casting. So what do we mean by that? So it's when somebody has made their backswing and they've reached the top of the backswing here, and it's a little bit like the angle we're going to see here with my wrist is a bit like a fisherman casting out his line. And we start to see golfers get rid of that feeling as they start to come down. And it's sort of quite interesting to sort of look at it and think, well, why do we do it? And I think it's really two things for me, okay? The biggest has to be power. Golfers get to the top of the backswing, and what they forget is you want the maximum speed at the golf ball. So what they're starting to do is they're starting to accelerate as soon as they can at the start of the downswing. And the biggest power source in your golf swing is that release of your wrist, is that angle through your wrist as you come back to come down, and then as you use that at the ball, you generate a lot of club head speed, okay? So I think power is a key thing. The second thing is when you talk about this wrist angle and the wrist cock, people are scared when you talk to them, say, look, you can maintain that angle as long as you want. They're scared they're not going to get rid of it. They feel like they're going to come into the ball this way. Now, I've never seen anybody arrive at the golf ball doing what I would call a full swing and actually arrive back in that position. They may have come in and left the face open, but they will have got rid of the angle. They've just left the face open. But there's the fear that if I come in there, I'm really going to leave the face open. So they're the two things that I generally see with golfers. Let's call it a power thought. The more I go early, the more power I'm going to get. And it's feeling a little bit like I'm steering the club as I come through into the ball. So let's look at it from a different angle. Why do these shots seem to happen? So if we're swinging from here, let's just move this ball actually a little bit across, get a better angle there, is the shank is the one that always amazes me, comes from this shot. And it's because the golfer, we always think the shank is because we're getting here and everything's going over here and that throws the neck of the club into the ball. Or actually what I'm seeing a lot of the time now, people are getting too much underneath and that delivers the shank into the ball. So there's two ways we could shank. But you could have what looks an absolutely lovely drop of the arms, but if we're starting to release this angle in the wrist early, see how the club looks like it's going forwards, and again, the more it goes forwards ahead of us, the greater the chance we could shank it. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. If you are a shanker, are you casting the club? Okay, the 2 and 3 things are pretty similar results. If I get to here, okay, I'm going to turn this way now. Okay, I've not got this ball in a good position, to be honest. Okay, so I'm moving around here because I'm working with you guys. Now the fat and the thin. Well, what we mean by that, the fat, as I call it, is hitting the ground first. The thin is catching the top of the ball. So again, if I'm here, I'd love to come back to this position there. If I get rid of this angle early, I could hit the ground here. That's the heavy shot, the fat shot. If I miss the ground, the club now can be on the up, and there's the thin. So there's our second thing that we could be getting as we're going through the shot. So we've seen there's 2 results in that. But as we said, the biggest thing is, then from there, you're losing power. So there's our sort of fourth part. We've talked about shank, we've talked about fat, we've talked about thin. If I'm here and I've got rid of this angle here, I've got no power as I'm coming into the ball. So what do I need to do? Okay, so the first thing I would sort of encourage you to do, we're going to do 2 little exercises here. Number 1, when you reach the top of your backswing, as a right-handed golfer, my left thumb will feel like it's underneath the shaft of the club. And just do some really slow motion swings and just say to yourself, look, I'm just going to maintain that angle. I'm going to feel like the thumb is supporting the club there. It feels like it's there. I'm not trying to get rid of that angle too quickly. So I'm just looking to feel that weight of that club is staying on my thumb. That's what I'm trying to feel from there. The second thing, which is really important, and I see golfers again, when you're first starting, why this becomes a problem, is we get to the top and straight away the thought is to move the club. And actually what you want to do is just feel when you reach the top, if you start to move your weight a little bit onto that left side, that helps to keep that angle. So you just want to sense the momentum is moving that way through the ball, okay? And what you'll find then is because you're thinking about that, you won't be trying to cast that club out. Now, you can do a third version, okay? They're the two I would suggest to start with. Just do some slow motion swings, think about it. And again, let's just go back to that before we go on to the third one, is watch the tour players. And if you get what we call a face-on angle, which is the angle I'm looking at here, watch where their wrists are as they come down. Their wrists are still, they look pretty much fully cocked there, and yet they get rid of that angle. And that's physics. That's just helping you out to do it. Okay? So the final thing you can do a little bit, as we said, is that sensation that when you get to the top, feel as if it is slightly sort of dropping behind. We call it lag. Feel like you're sensing that dropping behind you a little bit as you come down. But that works well with the second point we said, that weight shift. If you get there and you feel there, it's amazing how you get that feeling of that lag. And just trust it. Just hit a few balls really softly to start with and then build the power up. Because if you are that person trying to get the power happening here, if you go full pelt straight away, you're probably going to do it again. You're not going to get rid of it. So that's really, really important. So remember those 4 shots we're saying: a lack of power, a shank, hitting the ground before, what I call fat, hitting the middle of the ball or topping it, thinning it, those sort of shots. You're not going to get the desired result that you want as we go through that. So that's quite important. So what we're looking to do, I would start with slow motion swing. Just feel that. Just maintain it. From there, feel a little bit of weight move onto your left side. If you can, feel a little bit of lag and let it drop behind. You can see what I'm doing with the club there. I really want to feel it's going backwards rather than in a hurry to get it going forwards. Okay? If you can maintain that angle for a little bit longer, you will improve your striking, you will improve your club head speed, you will get much better results. I hope you enjoyed that video. As I said, 90% of golfers, amazingly, are doing some version of this. So if you can improve it, it will make a massive difference to your game. If you have enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, press the little bell for notifications. And if you are enjoying the videos, I have a membership. If you wish to join that, that's great. That gives me a little bit more sort of revenue to be able to improve the videos and hopefully in time maybe get a second camera on the golf course.